Most people believe they are in control of their thoughts, their choices, and their future. They believe that when they decide to do something, the decision comes from logic, intention, and willpower. But psychology tells us something deeply uncomfortable. Most of your decisions are made before you are even aware of them. Your brain is not a neutral observer of reality. It is a prediction machine, constantly guessing what will happen next and adjusting your behavior to survive. One of the most important psychology facts to understand is that your brain did not evolve to make you successful, happy, or fulfilled. It evolved to keep you alive. And survival is not the same as growth. Your brain's primary job is to minimize risk, conserve energy, and avoid pain. In the modern world, this survival system often works against you. This is why comfort feels irresistible. This is why change feels threatening. And this is why procrastination feels natural. Procrastination is not laziness. It is your brain protecting you from discomfort. When your brain detects a task that feels uncertain, difficult, or emotionally uncomfortable, it activates the same systems it would use to avoid physical danger. Your heart rate changes. Your attention shifts. Your motivation drops. Not because you are weak, but because your brain believes avoidance is the safest option. Another psychology fact most people never learn is that your brain treats emotional pain as real pain. Rejection, embarrassment, failure, and criticism activate the same neural pathways as physical injury. From your brain's perspective, social rejection once meant death. Being excluded from the group meant losing protection, food, and survival. Your nervous system has not updated for modern life. It still reacts to emails, deadlines, and judgment as if they were threats. This is why simple tasks can feel overwhelming. This is why your body reacts before your logic has a chance to speak. Your brain reacts first. You explain later. Another disturbing psychology fact is that motivation does not come before action. Action creates motivation. Your brain does not generate motivation out of nowhere. It waits for evidence. When you start moving, even imperfectly, your brain releases dopamine, not as a reward for success, but as fuel to continue. This is why waiting to feel ready almost never works. Your brain does not reward intention. It rewards movement. Another powerful psychology fact is that your brain is obsessed with efficiency. It wants to use as little energy as possible. Thinking deeply costs energy. Making decisions costs energy. Resisting temptation costs energy. This is why habits are so powerful. Once a behavior becomes automatic, your brain no longer needs to decide. Habits feel easy because they are cheap. New behaviors feel hard because they are expensive. Your brain will always choose the cheaper option unless there is a strong reason not to. Another uncomfortable psychology fact is that your sense of control is often an illusion. Many of your choices are influenced by things you don't notice. Lighting affects mood. Music affects behavior. Words affect perception. Your brain constantly uses shortcuts to interpret reality. These shortcuts are called cognitive biases. They help you survive, but they also distort truth. One of the most influential biases is loss aversion. Your brain experiences loss more intensely than gain. Losing $100 hurts more than gaining $100 feels good. This is why people avoid risks, even when the reward outweighs the danger. Your brain prioritizes avoiding loss over achieving success. This is why people stay stuck. not because they lack ambition, but because their brain exaggerates the cost of failure. Another psychology fact is that familiarity feels safe, even when it is harmful. Your brain prefers known discomfort over unknown possibility. Predictable pain feels safer than uncertain freedom. This is why people stay in toxic relationships. This is why people stay in jobs they hate. This is why people repeat patterns that hurt them. Your brain confuses familiarity with safety. Another psychology fact that shapes behavior is that your brain is constantly seeking validation. Social approval activates reward systems similar to food and money. Likes, comments, praise, and recognition feel good because your brain evolved to depend on social belonging. Isolation once meant death. Approval meant survival. This is why criticism feels painful, and why praise feels addictive. Another hidden psychology fact is that your attention is limited, but your environment is not. Your brain can only focus on a small amount of information at once. Every notification, sound, and visual cue competes for that attention. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain cannot fully focus on two demanding tasks at the same time. What feels like multitasking is actually rapid task switching, and every switch drains mental energy. This is why constant distractions make you feel exhausted without accomplishing much. Your brain was not designed for constant stimulation. It was designed for focused survival. Another psychology fact most people misunderstand is willpower. Willpower is not a personality trait. It is a limited resource. Every decision you make drains it. Every act of self-control costs energy. This is why decision fatigue exists. This is why you can be disciplined in the morning and impulsive at night. Your brain is not failing you. It is conserving energy. This is also why simplifying your life increases discipline. Fewer decisions mean more energy for what matters. Another psychology fact that controls behavior is confirmation bias. Your brain seeks information that supports what it already believes. It ignores opposing evidence. It dismisses contradictions. It rewards agreement. This is why people rarely change their minds in arguments, and why people become more confident, not less, when challenged. Your brain wants to protect identity, not truth. Another unsettling psychology fact is that your identity is a story your brain keeps telling itself. You are not a fixed personality. You are a narrative. Your brain builds this story from memories, feedback, and interpretation. And once the story is formed, your brain defends it. This is why change feels threatening. Even positive change challenges identity. If you believe you are not disciplined, your brain resists behaviors that contradict that story. Not because they are impossible, but because they threaten who you think you are. Another psychology fact is that emotions come before logic. Your brain decides how you feel first, then builds logic to justify it. You feel something, then you explain it. This is why gut reactions feel instant, and reasoning comes later. Logic is often a post hoc explanation, not the cause. Another psychology fact that explains modern burnout is that rest without meaning does not restore energy. Mindless rest numbs exhaustion, but does not heal it. Your brain recovers when effort feels purposeful, not when effort disappears completely. Another hidden psychology fact is that boredom is not laziness. It is a signal. Your brain craves novelty, challenge, and meaning. When stimulation lacks purpose, motivation collapses. This is why endless scrolling feels satisfying at first, then empty. Your brain receives stimulation without fulfillment. Another psychology fact is that fear distorts time perception. When you are afraid, your future feels closer and more urgent. This is why anxious minds rush decisions, and calm minds think long-term. Your emotional state determines how far ahead you can think. Another psychology fact is that your inner voice is not always yours. Much of it is internalized feedback from parents, teachers, and society. Your brain repeats familiar voices because familiarity feels safe. Becoming self-aware means questioning which thoughts deserve authority. Another psychology fact is that learning shuts down under fear. Your brain cannot explore while it is protecting itself. Psychological safety is a requirement for growth. Another psychology fact is that attention shapes identity. What you repeatedly focus on becomes part of who you are. Your brain becomes what it attends to. And one of the most important psychology facts of all is this: your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is that modern life rewards behaviors your brain was never meant to manage. Once you understand this, self-blame begins to disappear, and self-awareness becomes power, because when you stop fighting your brain, you can finally start working with it.